On a fine morning on the 26th of September in 2017, one of the most famous games in the entire gaming industry, even today, had just come out. In less than 3 months, almost everyone was talking about it. Many streamers and big name celebrities also played it. This game had so much hype for each and every update, and many memes were created out of the game. This game is none other than Fortnite, and like it or not, this game shook the internet. Some may even say it changed the landscape of gaming forever. But what happened to it now? Why do updates seem so lifeless and out of tune now? And is this just on purpose, or is Fortnite losing it? Or is it just us? To understand why Fortnite is like this now, we need to understand what made the game so famous in the first place. One reason is, it dropped at just the right time. Massive online gaming was starting to become popular in 2017, and one game was dominating at the time, PUBG. PUBG had a 100 player game mode where people would compete to be number one. And many people found it to be incredibly fun. Seeing this, Epic Games had strategically planned to release Fortnite Battle Royale. Now, this was not Fortnite's first game. It had a survival game before Battle Royale, Fortnite Save the World. Although that was supposed to be Fortnite's main game originally, Save the World unfortunately had quite paltry numbers, mainly for the reason that it was paid. However, why that Battle Royale became so successful is a whole different story which I'm about to explain. Firstly, unlike its Save the World counterpart, Battle Royale was free, and this already made the game much more accessible to many more gamers, especially children, which was their targeted audience, which brings me to my second point and arguably my most important point of this video. This game was targeted towards children. This can be seen by its more family-friendly approach compared to other games that had a Battle Royale mode. And instead of having characters that look violent and scary, Fortnite's characters were cartoony and goofy, making it much more appealing to children. However, Fortnite had gotten way more than just some children playing the game. Many YouTubers jumped on Fortnite to cash on its success, and even some famous internet celebrities hopped in on the bandwagon. Fortnite was the talk of many towns, and that was because of its updates. Every 1 week or 2 weeks, we would get a fresh new content update, perhaps with a new weapon, and everyone in middle school will be probably discussing how to use the new weapon. This was critical for Fortnite to stay on top, and you will see why. Fortnite even had features that stood out from other games, which was very important. Primarily, its building mechanics. These mechanics made it so that everyone had to learn, and since everyone started playing at around the same time, no one knew how to utilize the mechanics. So it was a community-based experience to learn how to utilize them, which overall added to the game's enjoyment. The game had gotten so popular it had won multiple game awards at the time. Fortnite seemed too big to fail. However, we've seen this story before with other companies. Alright, now, fast forwarding to 2025, and the game seems so boring now. No one talks about the game anymore. In fact, you'd be lucky or unlucky, depending on who you are, to find someone who still plays Fortnite nowadays. There are a few reasons for why this is so. Firstly, it is almost impossible for new players to play Fortnite and get good at it. This is because a few veteran players, or as I like to label them, sweats, who still play the game, will just kill and demotivate the new players trying to play and learn the game. This might not be such a widespread issue as there are not many veteran players left, but the few that do exist, well, they do make the game more challenging for new players. The loot pool is also wildly imbalanced. Back then, the weapons were mostly normal, with normal guns, at most slightly twisted versions of them, and some fun items here and there, most of them still requiring some skill to use. However, now it feels like more than half the items in the game are items that even the most new players could use to get a win, as they require little to no skill to operate. Don't get me wrong, there were items like these last time, but they were either hard to find or everyone would be contesting for it. However, now, almost half the items in the game are extremely easy to use while not being too hard to find, so that at least half the lobby has one. New players commonly use these items to abuse veteran players. There's also the fact that there are too many collaborations in the game. Collaborations used to be something special and rare for Fortnite. Everyone was scrambling to get the collaboration items in the game or use the outfit that was present in the item shop. Collaborations in Fortnite used to have a special taste, as most of them were done incredibly well. However, now, the collaborations just blend in with each other, as each collaboration is just the same thing. New skins and maybe a new item, and usually those items fall under the same category as overpowered, which new players abuse. Collaborations have lost their taste in Fortnite. In fact, it has made Fortnite lose its originality. This is supported by the fact that over half the skins in Fortnite are now collaboration outfits. and not original. Now, remember what I said at the very start? This game is primarily directed towards children, and even 8 years later, that still remains true. However, kids 8 years ago are no longer kids, they're either teenagers or adults. Since maturity develops over time, kids who found Fortnite fun 8 years ago would not find the same type of fun as they're no longer kids. Fortnite still tries to get kids to play the game, and the interest of kids has shifted to more cooler or crazy items. This is also probably why Fortnite dropped their original storyline, as kids nowadays have such short attention spans, they would not be able to keep up with the story. This is also why Fortnite has slowly shifted their focus to creative instead of Battle Royale, so kids can choose to play whatever they want in Fortnite, similar to how Roblox works. So to sum it up, it is not Fortnite that has gotten life years over the years. Fortnite is still trying to keep the interests of kids at priority, so it is just us that finds kids' content these days, well, lifeless. However, it is not all dark and gloomy. Yes! Fortnite has been listening to our complaints and they have definitely delivered over the years. For starters, creative isn't limited to just kid experiences. In fact, it's supposed to be experiences for everyone, regardless of age. Fortnite has also brought back their old maps for the veteran players in the form of Fortnite OG. Overall, we can see Fortnite shifting its focus from original free battle royale to a bigger focus on the game's metaverse and experiences, which some players may not like. So they've also made multiple modes for those players to keep everyone happy. I hope you like this video, and I'll see you in the next one.